Hi, boys and girls. Today, in talking about science, I have a few questions for you. Have you ever actually stopped and listened for animal sounds like dogs barking, birds chirping? Did you know that you can become a true scientist when you use some of your five senses to make discoveries about different animals? Let's watch this video now called How Do Animals Make Their Homes in the Forest?
Hi, it's Doug. Today you're going to read a story about someone named Desiree. She lives in a house surrounded by trees. Some of those trees have holes in them, and she wonders what animals live there. You're going to read about what Desiree figures out by watching the animals in the forest and the holes in the trees. But you aren't just going to read. Sometimes you'll get up and do something, look for clues, or stop to talk about your ideas. Let's turn the page and get started.
My name is Desiree. I just moved into a new house with my dad. Our new house is in the forest. There are a lot of trees. Dad and I go for a walk. I want to find animals in the forest. Let's stop and talk. What do you think Desiree should do to find animals in the forest? Click the arrow on the right to continue.
I think she should act like a spy and see if she can find any animals. What do you think?
I listen carefully to all the sounds around me. I hear loud sounds, like laughing and hammering. I look at where the sound is coming from. I see a bird. The bird is hammering bark off the tree. It makes a little hole. What kind of bird is that? I ask Dad. It's a woodpecker, he says. Why do you think it's called that? Let's stop and talk.
Why do you
think this bird is called a woodpecker?
Yes, why is a woodpecker called a woodpecker?
Click the arrow on the right to continue.
Did you say it's because it pecks wood and tries to make a hole in it? You're on the right pathway.
I watch the woodpecker fly to a big hole and put its head inside. I wonder what it's doing. It flies back to the small hole and hammers again. It gets something in its beak. Now I see. There are baby birds inside. This hole is big enough for a whole nest. I think I know what it's doing, I say. It gets worms out of the little holes it makes. Then it takes the worms to its babies in the big hole. Good thinking, Dad says. Woodpeckers are great at making holes. They make little holes to find food and big holes for their nests. Let's get up and move. Pretend you're a woodpecker. You have babies in a nest and a hole full of food. Fly back and forth to feed your babies.
Are you pretending like you're a woodpecker?
Click the arrow on the right to continue.
Fly back and forth to feed your babies. Okay. Thank you.
Look! There's another hole in that tree. I wonder if a woodpecker lives there too. I listen carefully, but I don't hear a woodpecker pecking. I hear a new noise. into the hole. It flies away and then comes back again, just like the woodpecker did. I look closely in the hole. More baby birds! How could a little bird like that make such a big hole? I ask. Think about it, Dad says. Where could the hole have come from? Let's stop and talk. Do you think this bird made its own hole? Where else could the hole have come from? Click the arrow on the right to continue.
Did you come up with an idea of where that hole could have come from? Okay, well, let's move on with the video and see what happens.
Maybe a woodpecker made the hole, and then the little bird moved in, I say. Good thinking, says Dad. Look, another woodpecker hole. I wonder who lives in that hole. I listen. I don't hear anything. I look carefully. I don't see anything. Maybe nobody lives in that hole, I say. There's only one way to find out, Dad says. He lifts me onto his shoulders. A tiny mouse scurries out of the hole. Wow! Birds aren't the only animals that live in woodpecker holes. That's right, Dad says. Many birds and animals live in the holes that woodpeckers make. I think about all the animals living in woodpecker holes. Big holes for big birds, and little holes for little mice. I wonder if I could help make homes for animals, I say, like the woodpecker does. Dad smiles. I think you could. Dad and I get to work. We saw and nail boards together until our birdhouse is finished. It has a hole just the right size for a whole family. The end.
Thanks for watching that. Now you can get out your science packet that looks like this. And it's number 4, draw an animal making its home in the tree. That's what you get to do. Draw an animal making its home in the tree. Okay. Thank you.